Hello everybody, this is Bigglou here, about to do well, this, I guess by today's terminology this would be called Let's Play, but I kind of did things a little differently here. This is basically going to be doing commentary over my gameplay footage, because since I am not good at basically playing a game and talking at the same time, because I do really bad at that, I decided just to do this by just recording footage and then me talking over it. So basically the game now starts off about basically the history, kind of an in joke about the history of the Saints Row franchise, how as it shows it started out in 2006, which most people played the first one thinking, okay, this will be a game just basically to tie me over until GTA 4 comes out. But then for most diehards, it was after part 2 when they noticed a change in the series tone and more fun, less mercy killing. That basically summed it up right there, while we get this nice little Game of Thrones parody, I believe. At first when I saw this parody I thought it was like a God of War, but people point out, no, it's Game of Thrones. So there you go. But yeah, basically as I was saying before, most people thought the tone of Saints Row after part 2 just went for, as they say, and basically crazier and wackier. And of course we start off with another homage to the opening of Predator with the music playing. And now what's happening is just like in basically from Saints Row 2 on forward, your character that you created is somehow covered up until afterwards when you get to create your character. In part 2 it was basically after the ending of part 1, where spoilers galore, basically the boat blows up that you was in it, and in part 2 it shows that you survived the explosion and you're basically bandaged it up. So after you created your character, then that's when the game started. And in part 3 you was in a Johnny Gat attire. So what better way to start off with part 4 than you being in a super suit outfit, I like to call it. And here we get to introduce a new character to the Saints Row. And of course a shout out to the opening of Saints Row 3 with Pierce doing a slam dunk / Dragon Ball Z commercial for Saints Flow energy drink. And of course the tone has to be like super serious now, since we're doing a little haha take that at the military shooting genre that's overtaking games today.
What's security? My tech guy bought us a 10-minute window. If we move fast, we'll only need to worry about the guards on foot.
And of course your main character says, screw it, I'm not going to do this all tactical, I'm just going to go full front. And all of that is just taken down without basically just running and gunning instead of being all quiet and stealthy about it.
Are you there? What are we walking into?
The intelligence I'm looking at suggests...
Hold on. Hi, truck on its way.
And of course a reoccurring character, Matt Miller from part 3, who originally was part of basically was part of the previous gang that was supposed to try to kill you down like every other Saints game. You had a gang warlord trying to take you out, but he basically did a heel face turn after the events of Saints Row 3. Of course, Kenzie's not too happy about it because Matt's the reason she was fired from the FBI for basically discovering her lifestyle hobby. I'll just leave it at that. And that is kind of, I just find that kind of hilarious how it just says, speaking Arabic. You don't need to know what he says. He's just speaking Arabic in a story.
But teaming up with terrorists? Seriously?
And of course, if you also notice how for this level how your character is basically in the squat position throughout the entire game, which once again I do find it hilarious since when I play games like Splinter Cell, I basically spend the entire game in that position since it's like you have to be all stealthy and everything. Can't make any noises when you're standing up because they'll detect you. So I spend my entire gameplay just walking in the squat position the entire time. And you have another character from Saints Row 3 who basically didn't like, because with the ending to Part 3 basically made it to where you just became a national hero after preventing the statue from exploding. So he doesn't like how the Saints have become popular, so he decided to go rogue.
Shit! Our side's bombing the compound. Oh, wait a minute, we're still in here. I'm not dropping the bomb. I'll do what I can, but work quickly.
Where to now, then?
Don't sweat. I got you. Come here, baby. This way, people.
Every mission has its bumps.
Bump! You call that a bump?
Lie, Robbie. Pierce, come with me. After you go through that door. On. Let's see how you can handle yourself, Mr. Celebrity. We'll be on mic.
We should be really close to the missile silo now. Stay alert. Cyrus is such a berk when it comes to security.
Target, but we're looking at a stockpile of
If there is one thing I have noticed about the Saints Row franchise, especially Part 2 onward, is how the game just starts you off guns a-blazing. It's like, oh, let's just tell a little story, but let's just put you straight into the action. And this is no different. And yeah, you gotta love that. Approved terrorists only. And another shout out to Call of Duty, the slow motion shootouts. That's pretty much become a staple in that franchise. I don't know. I could be wrong here, but I can't help but think that this is kind of like another homage or shout out to the ending to Terminator 2, though I could be wrong about this. Of course, that's what happened to Johnny Gat in Saints Row 3. Took a knife to the gut.
Best to just give up now!
And now there's this moment. Now, I have to say, honestly, this is before, I believe it was like a day or 2 days before this game was released. All the websites were doing like basically the Let's Play for the first 2 hours of this game. And I can honestly say I am glad I did not watch those videos, because this part would have been spoiled for me big time, which is a tangent I would like to go on, but I don't want to go too off topic. But yeah, this is just, when I played this for the first time, I had a hard time basically trying not to laugh. I mean, I was basically laughing at this the entire time, because I was just thinking to myself, this is just comic gold right here.
We snap at each other sometimes, and I don't always understand your methods. But there's no one I'd rather follow into battle.
So once again, I was internally grateful that I did not watch those let's play the first 2 hours of this game, so you know what happens. And so when stuff like this happens, you wouldn't laugh, because like, oh yeah, I already knew this was going to happen.
Had I any idea you would be so willing to sacrifice yourself to save the world, I suppose I wouldn't have tried to kill you.
Well, we just met, but, you seem, nice. The war has disabled the
And then, of course, you have the explosive opening
You're right over the...
to let you know, yep, and this is where our adventure begins. And that's how the game starts out. Press buttons to start global thermonuclear war. Of course, a returning character from Saints Row 1. Keith David. And of course, that's basically that's the digital version of me. I try my best to see if I could get myself down. And basically, we got a nice little West Wing style opening right here. And kind of a funny jab at how when you're president, you could do like one amazing thing that everybody will love you for, but then because of our short attention span, we hate you within the next 2 months. And a shout out to that tiger from Saints Row 3. Or some people could see that as like a reference to Hangover. And the septic truck. Ah, yes. The activities you did with the septic truck in Saints Row 2.
Shit. Keith better have some good news. This
press conference shit gets old real fast.
And there you see to the left, you saw the America gun.
Right now for one major bill, not both. What do you want me to push forward? Do you want to be the president who cured cancer or the president who solved world hunger?
I'm pretty sure that cake has to
Let's
be
roll
a
up on
Portal
cancer
reference.
and leave it bleeding in the
It just
street.
has to be.
Good choice.
Hope Kenzie's got
And
that
of course,
quarantine.
the white crib. Though it's funny, in the E3 build, it was the White House, but I guess, you know, let's just not take it that seriously. And the moment that I think everybody wants to do to every, basically, anybody who works in politics, we always want to do this to a politician.
Filibuster this smart ass. Busted a knuckle on that senator's tooth.
Oleg and I are about to head over to Camp David.
And even
to
though
watch some Nightblade.
he's obnoxious,
You
I
down?
just can't. I'm usually not. I'm not that much of a jerk, so
I'll be there as soon as I can.
just like Seth MacFarlane said, you don't have to like someone, just tolerate them.
Nice work, Oleg.
And Oleg, I'm sorry. Oolong is the pig in Dragon Ball Z, or in the Dragon Ball franchise.
Taken out of context. Kinsey, what's the right context for, and I quote, "I'm the patron saint of America. We should probably look into changing the Pledge of Allegiance to one nation under me."
That's a great question.
Jane?
I think we have a problem.
Oh, not you two. How many times do I have to...
Asha and Miller are waiting for you in the Oval Office.
If MI6 needed something, they would send it up the chain, not fly across an ocean.
They said nobody back
I mean, I will give them credit, even though for the not too many people were keen on the story about the alien invasion. At first, you could tell it's like, seriously, we're gonna go this route, whatever. But then, as the story does progress, it
helped us save the world.
kind of works best in the long run, I feel, in my opinion.
All right. I'll swing by after I do.
Of course, Zinyak, I feel he definitely had his dark moments as a villain, but he also had some funny moments as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a time for fear, but a time for celebration. Today, the best and brightest among you will find salvation within the Zin Empire.
I'm smarter than all these people.
Delightful.
Protect the president!
I do love your spirit, my dear. I'm Zinyak. Pleasure to meet you. Would you like to join me for a ride? Splendid.
Wow, that didn't take long now, did it? I guess approval ratings won't matter anymore now.
Gonna need some serious firepower. And I said we should have a gun every 5 steps. Is that too much to ask?
Oh yeah, and that's another thing you'll see me do a lot of, because I just love doing the melee attacks so much.
There you are. Thank God you're all right.
You okay? Where's Matt?
Upstairs, trying to find out what's happening.
Of course,
What is happening?
Johnny Gat Memorial
All out
statue.
war by the looks of it. I'm meeting up with Matt. I'll be in touch via comm.
Watch
And the
your
Saints
ass.
firmly believing in the Second Amendment.
Beautiful, beautiful guns. Got enough here for a well-regulated militia.
Come on, this way!
What the fuck, Keith? God damn it!
I think I would have to say the only drawback is you didn't. It would have been nice to at least had a little bit more of basically being the president before all hell breaks loose.
We gotta bounce. Shit, player, save yourself. Fuck that, save me.
That line always gets me. It's like, save yourself! Screw that, save me!
Oh shit. You aliens are so dead. Humans only, motherfuckers.
And of course I kind of screw it. It's like, yeah, thanks for getting in the way, Secret Service.
You pissed off the wrong. Bonus. Hey, y'all just fighting for second place.
And of course you notice, like,
Matt and I are at the South Portico.
taking over the entire world, as they showed on the little news, breaking news period.
Snatch my kid, I'll rip your fucking head off.
Ooh, is that little dialogue, is that a little foreshadowing?
Matt, hold on to me!
Asha, back! God damn it!
Flying clothesline.
Shit! How many of these are there? Bert to Ernie. Bert to Ernie.
Oh, Sesame Street reference right there.
Let's do this, you badass motherfucker.
And this is when you know, it's like, wow, you're not even an hour into the game and already they're giving you a frickin' turret. America!
Come get some. Saints always win. I'll gun down every last one of you. So my homies, fucking jacked my cabinet. You think you can come here and fuck with my country? This is for Lady Liberty. This was Uncle Sam.
And then of course, as you start to notice, if we do get attacked by aliens, hopefully they will go into Space Invaders like patterns so we know where to shoot them.
What? Are you? You blew it up.
Of course, you can't have a disaster film without destroying one of the monuments.
Why do you humans enjoy leaping so much?
Get off my lawn, you son of a bitch.
I think that line is kind of similar to that Harrison Ford movie. I think it's Air Force One, where he says, "Get off my plane, you son of a."
Dig didn't count on me, did you?
Well, hello there. Welcome aboard.
Sticking your head on the spike.
That shot right there shows, good God, he is tall.
Now, not so fast.
Say goodbye. Wait, what? Ah! Shit!
Did you really think you could stop me?
Shit!
Human arrogance. Is there anything more charming?
Fucking ass!
Do what exactly?
And of course, and this is where this is where I put the stopping point right here. So
I'm going to have fun breaking
tune in next
you.
time as I experience my nightmare.